Well, we have arrived. Uranus has turned retrograde on this very day that I'm making this video. Anyway, the car is back. There's been no driving videos for a few days because I had to go in and get repaired. So I just blew all the money out of the bank and I got it repaired. So we'll do a reading in a bit, but let's do a spin first. Let's go for a spin. Here it is, next to the chicken run again in its proper place. I borrowed a really weird car while it was away, but it was a real noisy car, so I didn't make any videos in it. But here it is, all back and working. Sort of gives you confidence when your car's back, doesn't it? Wow. This thing's even going to work, look. How cool is that? I agree. Not to drive like a maniac and kill people. Oh, it's all working, look, 218 miles of freedom. So we're just coming up to a full moon, and like I said, Uranus turns retrograde today. Nothing to fear, actually, quite positive. It sort of leaves room to have a rethink, to get new opportunities, to take your time to work out what the plan is going forward. So kind of quite an easy ride, really. Uranus is retrograde for 155 days a year, which is like half the year, and feels pretty positive as the moon comes up to full. You know, the energy is really growing and just kind of getting more powerful all the time. So if you're watching this on the day I'm doing it, which is Friday, September 19th, 2021, and we're all in for a pretty good weekend ahead. If you're watching in the future, there'll be a pretty good weekend ahead before you know it, okay? It comes round. It's a cycle. It's always coming round. We've had a real heavy couple of weeks. And I wanted to talk a little bit about just the general state of the world. I'm not going to go into any particular details. I mean, you know, we all know there's a lot going on around the world at the moment. But there's something that, if I wasn't a psychic channel, I'd probably make videos specifically about. And it's just preparing for whatever is to come. And people have been talking about that for so long now, you know. God, like 10, 15 years ago, Alex Jones was going on about it. And I'm not a big fan of Alex Jones, but I'm just saying, you know, this whole thing has been, you know, people have been worried about conspiracies and stuff for so long. And I kind of learned that life seems to go on, life seems to be okay. So I don't want to worry anybody, because I'm not really worried, frankly. But I think we are coming to a time when it's good to have a stock of food in. I mentioned this a couple of videos ago. I can remember talking about it in the chat. And thanks all you guys who put messages in the chat and you know, leave comments and stuff on videos. It's really interesting to hear from you guys, and it gives me a kind of sense of family about the channel, you know. And we do seem to have quite a nice family of people with us at the moment. And a lot of people were saying, yeah, you know, sort of my grandma always used to prepare, or I always have some stuff, you know, put by. And yeah, I do too. And you can go too far with it. Sometimes I find myself throwing stuff away that, you know, I've had for like 4 years in case of an emergency, and the cans have gone bulgy and, you know, or like insects have got into it or something. I don't go all the way and have, like, you know, a big pantry ram full of Mylar bags and rat traps. I just, you know, try and keep a sense of perspective about it, I suppose, because we're all attracting our own future. You know, and if everyone gets really, really worried and decides that, you know, the world is sure to end before long, then that's what we're going to attract to ourselves, isn't it? So, you know, I just kind of carry on as normal, really. But as a lot of you know, I grow my own vegetables, and I'm going to have some things to can. I'm going to can some beetroot today, actually, while this video uploads. Anything coming? No, and we're off on the road again in the old faithful Nissan SUV. It's a Qashqai, or a Qashqai, that's what it's called in UK. Don't know why, it's not a very English sounding name, is it? But that's what it's called here. So yeah, guys, you know, just like on a psychic level, I actually think we are going to see some troubles coming up. There's a lot of the world leaders and the sort of billionaires club and the richer people in the world starting to make preparations themselves now. And, you know, of course it costs really serious money on the level that they're doing it, but they are doing it. And these are people who didn't get rich by spending all their money in a hurry. So I think something's cooking, you know. I just think something's cooking, and I think it'd be best to be like stocked up and prepared for the whole thing. Anyway, another little thing I wanted to mention is just about the community generally. As you know, I do the live videos 3 times a week if the internet will let me. It's been pretty good the last week. It's about as far back as I can go with it, but yeah, last week's been really good. So hopefully it'll be good going forward. And we have a wonderful community who come onto the chat during the live readings. And I love to do them because it gives me a chance to pull a card for you personally. So if you haven't been watching the lives, please do come on board. And, you know, let me know you're there. And if you want me to pull a card for you, I certainly will. And there's some regular people, you know, Beverly Spencer, wow, April Evans, Adrienne, AQ. I don't want to like start naming everyone individually because I'll just kind of, I'm bound to forget people, but you know who you are, guys, who support me so much. And by doing that, you support the whole Twig Brother community, which is wonderful. And by the way, I am now on TLC, Tarot Love Community. Thanks, Renee, for including me in that. It's real nice to be in that, so the community grows all the time. But yeah, lots of people are coming onto the lives, and this is great. But I'm getting a fair few people who just ask the same question every single time. Excuse me, like 3 times a week. And I don't know whether they're like trying to catch me out or something, but you know, like if someone's asking a question again and again, then to my way of thinking, that suggests that they don't trust the answers I'm giving them, they don't trust my spirit guides, and I wonder why then they want to know from me what the future holds if I've already told them and they didn't believe it. What's the point in asking me again, you know? We get a few trolls on there, and I put up with trolls a little bit for a good reason. People are drawn to mediums for in all kinds of ways, but there's always a reason, you know. And maybe they've got someone in the afterlife reaching out to them, but they're just so cynical about psychics that they're only ever going to come on and watch for a laugh, and they're probably going to be a bit abusive as well. And as long as it doesn't come down to swearing, I sort of ignore it a bit, because quite often when that happens, you know, someone gets an answer and thinks, my God, it's real, you know, and then they're in touch with their loved ones on the other side, which is my job, you know. So I don't just randomly block people, but you know, there's people who come on again and again, like, you know, what colour hair is my girlfriend gonna have, and stuff like that, which, I'm sorry, it's just not that important, you know. If you meet someone you love, it doesn't matter what their hair looks like, it really doesn't. And it may be that the person who is going to come into your life in 6 months' time or whatever has brown hair now, but is going to dye it blonde or purple or pink or something, you know. There's only so much I can do with questions like that. And the trouble is, it sort of holds up the healing vibe of the whole thing. So today at some point I am going to have to not exactly block people, but what you can do is you can hide a user from the channel, which means they can watch the videos, and I want them to be able to watch the videos, but they can't come in the chat, comment, ask for a card, spoil the vibe. I'm not going to do it to many people. I can think of 3 people I'm going to do that with today. And you know, of course, my Gmail address is down in the description of all my videos, including this one. And if they really have a need, then of course they're going to email me and we can sort something out. But just, you know, for the sake of the regulars who put so much love and spread so much light through the group, I've got to do something about that. Anyway, right now it's time to do another Amazon Prime collection, because I had to get a better webcam. God, the list of cameras and mics you have to have for YouTube is absolutely insane. So it's mask on, into the shop. Which way does it go? It's got like a bendy metal strip at the top. That's it. And back in the blink of an eye. Okay. Oh, right. That's that. Chocky bar for later. Orange juice for the prep stash. And it's here. The new webcam, which is hopefully going to make the live videos better, because the one I've been using really washes out if you put plenty of lighting on. And it sort of auto-adjusts in an old-fashioned way that you can't regulate. Old-fashioned, like, you know, 10 years ago, not long really at all, but just the way it always is. And so if I'm wearing like my white hoodie on my bright orange t-shirt, the light just goes crazy every time I move. So anyway, got this webcam. Wasn't that expensive actually, but OMG, have you ever got to keep trying different things on YouTube? So there we go, let's do some green lining. Ta-da! And back at the ranch as we are, I then did a reading which I've now lost. And unfortunately, if I don't get it all edited and uploaded now, there'll be no Thursday video, and YouTube will hate me forever. So on that note, I hope you enjoyed that little drive around, and you know, all that stuff about having to hide certain users from the channel. But anyway, Freaky Friday read tomorrow using equipment that I know for sure works, and looking forward to that. So take care of yourselves, guys. Love to you, light to you, blessings, and of course, peace.